What? She never switched up on us. There's a lot of talking heads around the NBA that switched up on us, but one person that never switched up was Beadle. Never once.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, Michelle Beadle. So she had some things to say about the San Antonio Spurs season as a whole, her overall thoughts about it. And she has some other things as well in this segment that maybe we can divide it in a different video. But I definitely want to at least hear her thoughts on what she thought about the season as a whole and her being so close to, the situation, or at least at the very least being close to, seeing the bench, talking to the bench, all that good stuff. Just what she overall thought. Before we get into that, guys, please subscribe to Spurs Invasion. I don't know what subscriber count we're at right now. I've said this before. I said this on a live stream, but I probably should say it again. I'm going to be out of town for like a whole week before the draft. Once the draft hit, we'll go live. We'll have a good time. But as of right now, when you're seeing this video, I am out of town, okay? I'm out of town. I'm not here. But I definitely want to at least give this channel a head start. So this second channel that I'm creating is going to be more so scripted content, edited content, and I'm shooting for 2 to 3 videos a month on this channel. With my schedule, working full time along with this main channel, I'm gonna try my best to be able to get to 3, but for right now, I think I'm gonna at least not try to overextend myself. 1 to 2, I think is definitely doable. So, but if you guys are interested or you want to support, link is below underneath this video. Just go subscribe to Spurs Invasion. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what this is the wrong thing. Here it is. Let's take a look at what she has to say. Let's listen in.
Let's look back at this season of the Spurs basketball and of Wembanyama. What was your main takeaway, or what were your main takeaways from the Spurs season as a whole before we get into this offseason?
I think from the All-Star break on, there was just a significant vibe change. And I think watching Wembanyama, a 20-year-old coming in this league with that kind of pub and hype and expectation, I was genuinely resigned to the idea that, okay, he's going to come in, he's going to have some struggles, he's going to have some learning curve, and all of that's fine. And I think he was just so...
It was insane. I'm sorry, I'm going to let her speak because she's awesome. But dude, it was so insane to see him actually compete with the likes of Giannis, and he's a rookie. Like, and players are taking him seriously. Like, Giannis wanted to compete against Wemby, right? It wasn't I'm just going to show this guy out, right? I'm just going to show him up, to give him his welcome to the NBA moment. It was like, no, oh my God, I'm trying to compete. I don't want to be embarrassed. That's really what it came down to.
Ahead of schedule on everything, and shocked so many people with not just sort of what people expected him to be good at, but with the other things. And you could kind of see the progress as the season went on, like the skills that he was picking up and the way he would answer questions and the confidence. I mean, when we get to the end of a season and he's basically telling Rudy Gobert, enjoy your last Defensive Player of the Year award, I was just like, this is going to be one heck of a ride. And so, yeah.
He's always been like that, though, Michelle Beadle. He's always been like that.
I think ahead of schedule is how I would most describe it.
Because when he came in,
there
was no way he was going to exceed expectations with all that was said. I mean, Woj was going on saying he's the greatest prospect in the history of professional sports. And it was just all this hyperbole around this guy. And yet he did. Yeah,
I don't think it was hyperbole at all. I think it was pretty. Some people that saying like, oh, he's going to be the greatest ever. I mean, I think that too. But maybe if you said that before he got to the NBA. But if you paid attention to him at all, if you knew any stories of him, if you watched him in France, you would know he is legit. Like, he is nasty. And his leadership, his cutthroat mentality, it's all there. He's literally Kobe, dude. He's literally Jordan. He's literally Duncan. Like, that's the type of player he is.
Yet, after the All-Star break, because he was working on his post game, because he was a sponge and wanted to learn, and he just happens to be an amazing human being outside of being a basketball player. He's got an old soul work ethic. Somehow he exceeded those expectations, which I thought would have been impossible going into the season.
I think the way that he exceeded expectations more than anything was how he engendered himself to fans. Like he integrated himself into the Spurs culture, into San Antonio better than almost anybody that I've ever seen after they're drafted, except for maybe LeBron because he was drafted to his hometown team. But
yeah, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. Exactly. It's not like France drafted Wemby. All right. So.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Wemby. San Antonio loves Wemby, but everyone loves Wemby. I haven't, like, real talk, guys, I have not seen any negative things pertaining to Wemby. I saw quite a bit prior to the season starting, like that OKC channel that we went over. I don't think they like me very much. But you know, the people that were trying to defend Chet over Wemby, like we saw stuff like that. But overall, man, woo, we're getting a lot of love over here.
So when you look at this offseason, Michelle, obviously they're connected. The Spurs are connected to almost every free agent that's out there. Trae Young, Lauri Markkanen, Darius Garland, people that are rumored to be wanting to be traded, people that are like basically anything that is possibly being moved to this offseason is being linked to the Spurs. Do you think that's solely based on how good Victor was this year, or based on actual rumors or things that people are hearing?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, the Trae Young ones, that's got to be, that's almost all season, I feel like. That has been a rumor that's just lingered like a cloud. But the Lauri Markkanen of it all, you know, the idea of bringing in a scorer, it's exciting. What's crazy to me, or what I think the hard part of the job that Brian Wright and company's got to do is you don't want to go too fast, and you don't want to bring in too much of a seasoned veteran that you don't get to grow the team together. But at the same time, what might have been a more slowed down, slower paced building process, I have to believe that they're going to speed that up a little bit because of how ready Wemby looks. And you don't want, I mean, I'm not saying you're going to waste the years. The kid's 20. All things going well, he's got a good 10, 12, 13 years if he wants to keep playing.
She's absolutely right. I still think it's going to take a couple years, right? But usually it takes longer than that with a lot of teams. So I think that the Spurs, you're still in rebuild mode. You still don't have enough. You still need that second piece. I don't know if Devin Vassell is a sufficient Robin to our Batman, right? I don't know that. I think that he is part of the future. I think that he's played phenomenal this season, and I think that he definitely should be in the puzzle somewhere. I just don't know if it's right off the bat. Those are our big three: him, Wemby, and Sohan. Even though I do think that they're a huge part of this thing, but I think you need at least one more player that's possibly a two-way that can compete, you know, next to Wembanyama. That's what I think. And you know, Vassell is only getting better, and he looks phenomenal. So I'm not going to sit here and say that he can't be that 100%, but the Spurs definitely aren't there yet, and they need to add some depth. They need to add some more high basketball IQ players, and maybe we'll be looking at something close to what the Nuggets got going on, right? But overall, I'm happy with the progress, and yeah, I think it won't be too long before the Spurs take off. But anyways, yeah, big shout out to Michelle Beadle. She was actually on this podcast called Sneakers and Cleats. So guys, go check them out on Spotify. I need to listen to more of this. If I find any of it interesting or any segment, maybe we can go over it once again. But love what we heard, and love everything that she has to say. So anyways, get with you guys later. Bye.